I'm not teaching any AWS stuff here or cybersecurity. No, the goal is to come, take in your questions and answer your questions. Enough talking from myself. It's now 2:10. You all have heard a little bit about me, my background. Now the floor is open. The floor is open. What questions do you have about careers in cloud computing and cybersecurity? First person. Anybody? Any questions about cloud computing and cybersecurity? Also, feel free if you have ideas, something that, helped you, maybe you're already in the field, um, please feel free to share that as well. It doesn't only have to be questions. Um, if you're already a professional in the field, you just want to join and share your expertise, what worked for you, please feel free to come up on stage uh, and share that as well. If you are on Clubhouse, for those that are joining, if you are on Clubhouse, you cannot raise your hand in Clubhouse. Okay, if you want to join the discussion, join the Zoom link that has been provided in the chat in Clubhouse. I also provided that in the Telegram channel, and I also provided that in the LinkedIn post about these sessions. If you have any questions, I already see one question here. Wanted to know which cloud certification is better, AWS or Azure. So I know some of you might be like, just don't be biased about your response to that. We know you work at AWS, so you're probably gonna say AWS. Not necessarily, right? The way I want you all to look at it is, based on the company that you're working in right now, right? What are they using mostly, right? Some companies are using Azure, right? They started on their journey using Azure. Some, or most, because AWS is very popular, they're using AWS. Okay. If you're just joining, please disable your video just to give everyone good bandwidth. Tochuku, it's nice seeing you. Thanks. So where was I? Yeah. So Azure, if your company is using Azure, then I would say, if you're looking to maybe switch teams, all right, maybe you are doing some basic system admin work now, and you also want to get into cloud. If the current company you're in is already leveraging Azure, then the best route at that point, I believe, is to learn Azure, right? Because you're already within that company. It makes it easier for you, to look at the internal job openings, right, and see what they're looking for, all right? That way, you target your studying and all that to the required skill sets needed. And in that case, you can also reach out to the hiring manager, as it happens in many companies. If you are able to see the internal job postings, you're able to reach out to the hiring manager, right? But again, to answer your question, AWS or Azure, it depends. If you're already in a company that's using Azure, go with Azure, right? If you're thinking about moving, right, and leaving that company and looking for something outside of that company, then here in the United States, AWS is very popular, right? Very popular. It is the top in the what do you call it? In the Gartner charts, right? For over 12 years now. So which means more and more companies use AWS than other cloud providers. So it'll give you more advantage, right? That you learn AWS, and then from there you can start applying to all the different openings inside or outside of your current company. Your hand is up. I have a question. Yeah. Oh, there's a hand raising feature in Zoom. I didn't know that. So if you, I believe that's awesome, A. So go ahead and yeah, just unmute and ask a question. For some reason, I can't hear. Let me see. Is it me? Is my audio? Can someone say something? Oh, I can't hear. Some of you might have been talking all of this while I can't hear anything. Give me 1 second. Let me look into this. Let me look into this real quick. 1 second. Let's see what is happening here. I didn't know that was an issue. I cannot hear anything you all are saying. Give me 1 second to fix this real quick. Speaker. Can someone say something now?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Finally. All right, I can hear you all now. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, cool.
The whole time I wasn't, if you have been saying something the whole time, I didn't hear anything. I just fixed my audio so I can hear you all now. So yeah, please go ahead and ask a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hi. Okay,
Hi.
so I just funny enough, I just stumbled on the flyer on LinkedIn and quickly ran to the session.
Good, good.
And I needed this session, so like I said, I have a few questions. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
my first question is, I want to go into cloud. Specifically, I want to go into cloud security. That's
Okay.
where I want to go into. Cloud security and compliance is actually my purview. Now, what certifications or what courses do I take in order for me to transition to cloud security and compliance? That's question number one. Question
Okay.
number two is, I work in an MSSP and we don't do cloud.
And
Like,
sorry, you work
I'm
in
a
an
security
MSSP
engineer.
and you do cloud? Can you repeat that? Sorry, that second part.
do cloud. We don't do cloud.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and unfortunately for them, let me put it that way, I'm drawn to cloud, so I want to move to cloud. So how do I manage that situation where I work in a company, 9 to 5, they don't do cloud, everything is on-prem, but I want to move to cloud. So do I start seeking for other opportunities in cloud outside, or I maintain my regular job and just basically just play around with labs? I'm actually inclined to AWS. Sorry, I'm being biased. I'm inclined to AWS, so I have my free tier account.
Yeah.
I do do some labs, but is that enough to give me the prerequisite knowledge that I need to transition to cloud fully? Yeah, those are 2 questions. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Great question. Great question. So to answer your first question, you want to get into compliance and you're thinking about, especially when it comes to cloud, right? What certifications? Right. So, with that, if you currently have no cloud skills at all, right? Then the first thing I'll recommend is, let me ask you quick. I'm not sure if you mentioned, do you have any IT experience at all? Any IT background? I know you work at an MSSP, but what's your background in
Yeah,
IT?
so I transitioned last year to cybersecurity. So I've been in cybersecurity since last year till now.
Good. And
So if it's my first degree, no, I don't have, my first degree is not in IT whatsoever.
okay, but you transitioned to cybersecurity last year. And what do you do in cybersecurity? What's like vulnerability management,
So
SOC
I'm a
analyst,
security engineer.
security engineer? Okay, very
Yeah.
good, very good. Okay, so you have the background right now. You're starting to gain some of the experience. Um, so my advice for you here is, in order for you to transition into cloud security and then like you get into doing compliance stuff and all that, start with for example, cloud practitioner certification. I know I say this most of the time, cloud practitioner, but something I add to that is if you already have any IT background at all, which sounds like you do in this case, skip the cloud practitioner certification exam, the AWS cloud practitioner, and go straight for the solutions architect associate. And trust me, you all can do it. Right? I've mentored students that skipped the cloud practitioner and they're working in the cloud today. Okay, so if you have zero IT background, then I highly recommend cloud practitioner. But for the person that just asked the question, sorry, what's your name? Let me just make sure I know your name. What's your name? Who was that?
My name is actually Assam.
Assam, okay. Assam, yeah. So since you already have some IT background, go for the Solutions Architect Associate. Now, there is a specialty certification. I'm not sure if you're already aware of that, but it is not something I would. You are aware?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So it's not something that I would recommend you immediately start with. Okay, at least if you don't have the Solutions Architect Associate, start with that. All right. There's some foundational security concept that you're going to learn in that. Right. For example, you learn about security groups, you learn about network access control lists, some basic, security services, depending on the course you're taking. That will help you in, just the foundation that you need. Right. And some of those skills you can actually then start listing in your resume. Right. Now, as you do that, making the solutions architect your first, making the solutions architect associate your first certification, as you looking to transition to cloud security, and then you want to consider it's called the AWS security specialty, right? The goal at the end of the day is when you are applying to the cloud security positions, you want something to make you stand out. There's always a debate about, certification or experience. And my answer to that always is both. Okay. Now, if you're coming without a background in, for example, let's take example in this case, right? You don't have the experience in cloud security, right? What you want to use to stand out from the crowd is a certification, right? Because currently there's no experience to back it up, right? You are looking at those job positions, you want to apply to them, but you don't have the required experience. But guess what? Certifications can put you, in front of hiring managers as well, right? Oh, this person has a certification in AWS security, let's bring them in for an interview and, just hear them out, right? As opposed to not having that at all. My recommendation to you, I see some other questions just to conclude on your question is, I guess don't just go straight for the security specialty certification. Get the solutions architect associate first, and from there, then go for the security specialty. Now, once you do this, and this is what I like to encourage everyone, don't try to do a million things at the same time. It's just not going to work. You're going to see a lot of posts online. You're going to see a lot of ads. Come learn business analyst. Come learn this, Jenkins. Come become a Scrum Master. Don't try to do a lot of things at the same time, right? So I think I just forgot your name, Anam, or what? Yeah. Just Assam. Yeah, sorry, Assam. Yeah, just focus on this. If that's what you want to do now after this call, okay, I'm just going to target the Solutions Architect Associate certification and the Security Specialty certification. That's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to skip all the noise that are going to be coming every day on social media, right? Do that, and then all of the skills you learn in that, put them on your resume. I don't know if you've seen my LinkedIn article. I should actually have a link to all of these resources I've shared. If anyone, I'm pretty sure some of you here have seen that article. It now has over 30,000 views, and I get tons of success stories from people using that article. I wrote that article to give you like a roadmap, right, on what to do to become a cloud engineer or cloud architect or whatever the company gives you as a title. So look at that article. It also has links to my website. It has, it's like a list of items that you should focus on doing, right? And just put out all the noise and just, this is what I'm going to do. And at the end of the day, I'm going to try to make my resume look like the template that I have out there. Okay. I actually saw a post here earlier. If all of you are looking at the chat, I don't know, this person, Tino Tenda. Hi, thank you for all you do. I got a cloud engineer using your videos on YouTube. The link to my videos on YouTube, Tino Tenda, thanks for sharing that feedback. You use my videos on YouTube. Some people use my live intensive trainings. Whichever one works for you. I always recommend leveraging multiple resources. The resources are out there, right? It's just a matter of how much effort you're willing to put in. But again and again and again, just set your mind to one thing. Are you going to do AWS? Do you want to become a Scrum Master? Do you want to do DevSecOps? Do you want to do DevOps? Just do one thing at a time. Be realistic with your goals, and by the time before you know it, you'll be getting those calls for those jobs. Also, with your resume, there are tons of templates out there. Not only the template that I have, right? Look at other templates out there as well. Look at the skills that you start to acquire in all of the different courses you're taking, right? And start adding those to your resume, right? For example, don't just say in your resume, I'm AWS Solutions Architect Associate Certified. No, what did you learn, right? What hands-on did you do as you were learning that? All of those should go in skills section of your resume, right? Look at, for example, many of you are familiar with Stefan Marek's Udemy course, right? And that's one of the courses I listed in my article, right? See how he listed all the different topics he covered in his course, right? Use those as points on your resume, right? It's great that you're certified, but list them out, right? Make it known that you know about S3, you know about EC2, you've done hands-on labs with, let me just get a random name, Control Tower, right? I know that's more security related, but I'm just using that as an example, right? So think about, putting those skill sets in your resume, in addition to finally mentioning I'm security specialty certified. When it comes to GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. So you said you want to go into the compliance space. I almost forget about that. When it comes to compliance, what I would recommend you do is just find some resources out there. I don't talk a lot about compliance, but it is a field that I do recommend if you're getting started in cybersecurity. Not a lot of people talk about it, but there are actually lots of opportunities in compliance, right? In this case, it's usually tagged as GRC, right? Governance, risk, and compliance. There's actually a LinkedIn post I saw recently. I don't know if many of you also saw that post by some doctor something. I saved it on my LinkedIn. Someone please remind me after this to share it maybe in one of my LinkedIn posts. He released a course on Teachable to help people get started in GRC. So as you're learning about security specialty certification for AWS, Assam, that is actually another good resource, right, for you to combine with that, right? Because he goes into compliance and he has a coupon code. I don't know him. Okay, he didn't pay me to say anything about his course. Again, I just put out whatever information I feel is useful for my followers, right? My connections. He has that. Remind me, Assam, if you're my connect. If send me a connection request. If you haven't already, if you're listening to me and you haven't already, send me a connection request on LinkedIn. I'll accept, and you can message me after that. I'll share that link with you. He has a coupon for $0, so he's asking people if you don't have whatever you want to pay for his course. Okay, so look at that course. I think it'll really help you as you're looking to like be more specific in cybersecurity, and that is going into compliance space. That was a lot. I hope that some of you listening got some tips from that. I'll move on to the next question now. Asam, if you have any more questions, please feel free to message me on LinkedIn or come back next Sunday, okay, and ask your question. What is the next question I have here? I wanted to find out what levels of programming expertise. Good question. I need to be solutions architect and also look for job opportunities. Great question. This is also a question by the same person that shared their success story with me after using my YouTube videos. Tino Tenda, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. That's actually a very brilliant question. And all questions that you all ask here today are brilliant questions. Okay, please note that there are no dumb questions. Okay, so don't say to yourself right now, I think my question is going to sound dumb or stupid, or I don't have IT experience, so I'm just going to say something dumb. Please don't think that. Okay, any question at all is a great question. Just come up and ask a question. What level of programming experience? Not an expert level programming experience. You're looking at me here. I'm a solutions architect, right, at Amazon Web Services. Again, disclaimer. Everything I say here is my views and opinions, and not the views and opinions of AWS. Okay, I'm always putting that disclaimer out there. I'm not an expert at programming at Python or Java or Node. I did go to it's called NIIT. For those of you that are in Nigeria, you might be familiar with NIIT. So yes, if you're an alumni of NIIT, I went to NIIT and I learned. I did some Java courses there. I wasn't an expert taking that course, right? Because after a couple of years, I didn't work with Java or anything like that. So, but I did have that little background in Java, and then also like currently, there's a Python course that I'm taking on LinkedIn. If everyone can please mute, I can hear like some type of sound. If you can please go ahead, check your mic and make sure that you're muted, if you don't mind, please. I'll open the floor again for another question in about 1 or 2 minutes. So with programming, not a lot. Okay, there is a 4-hour YouTube video, right? And there's several other YouTube videos that teach you the basics in Python programming. Okay, start with the basics. At the end of the day, you're not applying to become a Python developer, right, or a Java developer, right? You're applying to become a solutions architect, okay, or a cloud engineer. So don't think about taking like 14 weeks boot camps on coding. You don't really need that. Okay, you don't really need that. 4-hour, 5-hour videos on YouTube should do. Okay, just make sure that you take good notes. And when you're asked in an interview, about any experience in program at all, you can say yes, right? You can say yes. And you can explain that you're self-taught, yeah, right. You can mention the resources that you leverage. Just make sure to always be 100% honest. For some of you that know me and the resources I share out there, I'm always against not saying what you're not, right? Or saying what you're not. I'm always against saying what you're not. when it comes to interviews or on resumes. Always be truthful, and the best things will come your way. Okay. So basic programming in whatever language should be sufficient. And guess what? On YouTube today, there are thousands of videos. All right. Don't stick to one resource. All right. Me passing the CISSP or passing the CCSP. CCSP is Certified Cloud Security Professional. Right. It's an industry professional certification in cloud security. I also passed that on my first attempt. But did I use one resource? No. I used multiple resources. I wrote a LinkedIn article about that. Go find it. Now I feel bad. I should have just put a list of all of these links and then just paste it in there for all of you. Links to all of my articles. I'll probably have that ready next session, next Sunday, God willing. So I have an article on that, on passing the CCSP exam. Coming back to your question, if one Python course or one Java course on YouTube or Udemy does not do it, find another instructor. Okay, and that's one tip for all of you today as well. Perhaps some of you here, maybe one or two or a few of you are struggling, right, with what you're learning in cloud computing or cybersecurity. It looks difficult. Why does it look difficult? Maybe you're sticking with one instructor. Okay, always say to yourself, there are millions of instructors out there. There are millions of, maybe not millions, of resources out there, right, to help you learn these things. Don't stick to one instructor or one book or one article. Okay, leverage multiple resources, right? Some instructors explain things very differently that when you listen to them, you're like, wow, that just made a lot of sense. I've been studying this for all of these months and it didn't click, and now it clicked, right? And I not to be self-praising or anything like that. I'm glad I do get some of this feedback from those that watch my YouTube videos, because when I look at tutorials out there myself, I for some reason I say to myself, after I get the point behind the what the instructor is, I'm like, if only you had said it this way, it would have made 1,000 more sense, right? I'm an instructor at heart. I like teaching. If you've seen my YouTube videos, you can see how passionate I am when I'm teaching, right? So I try to explain things in very simpler ways. Okay. So whatever you're learning, leverage multiple resources, find other instructors that explain things differently, and before you know it, it'll click. It'll click. Don't give up on your first or second or third attempt. Okay. I know someone who was trying to get their CISSP certification. They passed on the 7th attempt, and guess what? That exam is expensive, right? It's $699. Imagine how many times he had to take from, I don't know, his savings, but he didn't give up. But he got it, right? So don't give up on your first or second attempts. Find articles. For example, you're trying to learn about IAM in AWS. I'm just giving an example here. But again, think of programming, okay? Like your question that you asked, right? Python, Java, you bought a course, it's not working out, you're reading a book, it's still not clicking. Find other books, find other articles. I hope I've emphasized that enough. I'm going to move to the next question now. I hope that makes sense. Next question here is business intelligence. Currently working on business intelligence on-prem with ETL. But I don't have cloud knowledge. Could you please suggest what is better for me in cloud? Okay. Asam, I think I forgot to answer your second question. I'm not going to take too much time on answering it. Your second question was about your current company being MSSP and on-prem, and if you should leave. Is Asam still here? Is that what your second question was? I just want to make sure
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. Don't worry. You can answer other questions. I'll send you a LinkedIn message so we can continue from there.
Okay.
You can attend to other people.
Okay, I must say though, the reason why I'm opening up these sessions is I don't answer all the questions on LinkedIn. I try as much as possible. But let me just quickly touch on that, okay? What I recommend you do is once you start learning about AWS, right? Why don't you have a presentation, right? AWS has an article out there about the benefits of cloud. Put a presentation together, present, when we work in these companies, they're not only looking for us to come and do XYZ task every day. I know many of you don't know that. Actually, your leaders want to hear from you. They want you to bring ideas to the table. Asam, do not see yourself as I'm a junior in this company, nobody will listen to me. Put out a killer presentation, right? Use Canva. Put a presentation together on why your company needs to start, thinking about cloud. That's just an idea, okay? And then hopefully one of them will someone will listen to you, hear you out, and your company will start thinking about moving to the cloud, and who knows, that could be where you get your first cloud job. Otherwise, as you learn cloud security, GRC, compliance, of course, apply to jobs outside of your company, and if you like what you hear in the interview, the offers, take it, and you go from there. Okay.
Brother Mukhtar, it's the same continuation with that question.
Yeah.
Actually, I also have a background of IT with data warehousing and reporting. And whereas I have like 10 years of experience, I work on a big firm with cloud computing, but in our organization, we have a separate team where we maintain our own application. So where I don't have opportunity to get into the cloud, but what do you recommend? I have a strong background of data warehousing, ETL tools like Informatica, SSI, and reporting tools. I have like a Tableau, Power BI, OBIE. So, but I'm on-prem, but I don't have any exposure to the cloud. What do you recommend if I want to go to the cloud? What technology or what services I have to go? I have to learn.
Oh, Muhammad, you are a great candidate. Did you hear that? You are an awesome candidate for jobs in data warehousing solutions in the cloud. It doesn't matter that you don't have a cloud background yet, right? What matters is you have the foundational skills and the experience, right? And what I'm thinking about for you here is data analytics.
Okay.
Right? Data analytics. As I advised Assam earlier, if you don't have any cloud experience at all, start with solutions architect associate, and then but you pivot to after that, pivot to the data analytics specialty certification. Now, here's something faster. Some people think maybe I need this certification before I start applying to jobs. No. With your current resume, trust me, look for cloud jobs requiring expertise in data analytics. All right? Many companies will bring you in and give you time, right? 6 months, 18 months to get certifications. But with what I just heard you say, go to the AWS website, all right? Look for jobs in even solutions architect, right? In data analytics. Trust me, with your background experience, you can apply to those. Don't say I don't know about, for example, AWS Redshift, right? A data warehousing solution in AWS, right? Don't say that that you don't have that skill. They're probably not going to look at. No, they are going to look at your resume, okay? Because you have experience in data warehousing, you know about all of these other tools that other customers that are coming from on-prem to the cloud are going to have 1,000 questions about. But look, you here have the skills to help AWS answer those questions. So why don't we bring you on, right? We give you time to, learn about, Redshift and all of these different services that we have in the cloud for data warehousing and data analytics, right? We give you time to learn that, but here we have you have the experience, you have the skills. So I hope that makes sense. Yes, start on a journey to get, for example, the data analytics specialty certification, right? I'll start with solutions architect associate first, and then data analytics. But even as you're doing that, apply to jobs on AWS, on other cloud providers, and something should work out. You have to be consistent, though. You have to be consistent. Mohammed, I hope that that makes sense.
That's really good direction, Brother Kabir. Jazakallah khairan.
Yeah. All right. I know it's 2:45. Wow, I've only taken 2 questions, and I think I see the chat is like a lot. Don't worry, guys. The goal is to continue this every weekend. With that said, let me quickly give you guys links to my AWS article on LinkedIn. Let me see if I can quickly find it. If you all want to wait, I have it here. So any other link that you need, anything I talked about here today, my YouTube videos, if you're still listening to me on Clubhouse, oh, my Clubhouse room ended. It ended at 2:45. I think because I set it to 2:45. I don't know why. But my Clubhouse room ended. But if you're here, that's great. That's the link. My YouTube videos, that someone just shared their success stories using that. The link to the YouTube video is there. The link to my website, Yes Certified, is also there. I do host live weekend classes occasionally, a couple of times a year, 6 days intensive classes. If you're interested in that, I have one coming up. Every link that you need is in .articles. Save it in a safe place, okay? And share it as well. If you also find benefit within that article, please share it so more and more people can benefit. Again, I cannot answer every question I get on LinkedIn. If you're not part of my Telegram channel, guess what? The link is in that article as well. If you're looking for my template resume, guess what? The link is in that article as well. If you're looking for what else? To find me on LinkedIn, the link is in that LinkedIn article. With that said, I hope to see you all. Sorry if I was not able to get to your own question. Join me again next weekend. Make sure you set an alarm on your phone, right? Tell Siri or tell Android to set an alarm for you every Sunday at 2:45. If I'm going to cancel, I will mention on the Telegram channel. The Telegram channel now has close to 10,000 subscribers. Please join that so you're updated. Also, we share cloud and cybersecurity quizzes. Thanks to my mentees that helped me with sharing quizzes on that channel. It's not just me, so just want to give credit to them as well, so you all recognize that there are some people behind those quizzes that you see every day, almost every day, on the Telegram channel. If I'm going to cancel this Q&A session, I'll put it on the Telegram channel. I'll probably write a post about it on LinkedIn as well. With that said, okay, let me see. I can take one more question. Okay, if anyone wants to wait, I can take just one more. Otherwise, I'll talk to you all next Sunday. I'm gonna count to 10. If you have any question, real quick, you wanna wait, you wanna ask a question. 10, 9, 8. Okay, ask. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Hi. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you very much for everything you've been doing.
Thank you.
I watch your YouTube, your
Thank
resources
you.
and every other thing I've been using. And quickly, my background, I got my master's degree here. I studied economics.
Yeah.
So I joined cloud sometime last year, August. Now I have two offers from 2 companies.
You have 2 offers from 2 companies.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So now the question is, so what on which one should I go for? One is a smaller company, but pay very huge amounts. I mean, with 6 figures. Another one is one of the Fortune 10 companies in America, and they pay good as well, but not as much as that of small company. So I don't know what to do this time around, because so when I look at the small companies, they look like they are using many tools I have not even come across before.
Okay.
Yeah, they use something like Snowflake, Banner, more of like
Informatica.
yeah.
Maybe.
So me, I'm a DevOps engineer. I've been practicing as a DevOps engineer, and I've used a lot of tools when it comes to DevOps, but not in data. So, but the
Okay.
but they were not paying as much as the small company. So if you are in my shoe, what would you advise?
Great question. Great question. But first and foremost, congratulations. Wow, 2 offers. That is. What is your background? Sorry, I think I missed that. Your background is in DevOps, right?
Yeah, my background is in DevOps. Yes.
Okay. And good to know that you also mentioned that you've watched some of my YouTube videos. Is that right?
Yeah, and I've reached out to you on LinkedIn time before.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right. I think in the chat, I just quickly before I answer your question, I direct message someone the link. So right now, everyone should be able to see the link to my article, to the LinkedIn article I was talking about. That has all the links to everything. What I would say here is, it sounds like that small company, um, they've already interviewed you. They've given you the offer. Yes, they are using some other tools you're not familiar with. I'm guessing they are aware of that, but they just love what they heard you talk about, right, in your interviews, right?
Yes.
They loved your responses, they love your technical background, and this is one thing as well. Okay, some of you look at you look at job posting like, okay, I don't check the box for XYZ, and you don't apply. Don't do that. Okay, if you check at least 50% of the requirements, apply. Did you hear that? Apply, apply, apply. Coming back to you, I would say the bigger company probably has more opportunities for growth. Okay, that's how I would look at it. The smaller company, they're paying you more. There might be some learning curve because you don't check the box on all of the tools that they use. They're paying more. To be honest, in my own opinion, and I'm gonna tell you why, right? I would go for the bigger company even if the pay is less. Now, I would choose the bigger company because, you know, it helps with my resume as well, right? Let's just put it that way. Imagine having Google on your resume or having Amazon on your resume, right? It just makes you more marketable, right? I don't know how big that company that you're talking about is, but if it's a big company, like you've mentioned, a big name, I would go there just because there's going to be a lot of opportunities internally as well, okay, to move into different other teams. Big companies do big work, right? They do a lot of things. It's tons of opportunities to move in between teams, in between projects. I worked at Deloitte before, worked on multiple projects. Okay, I'll get interviews to come on to different projects. That was good to know, right? That was something because I know some of us don't like doing one thing every time, right? We want opportunities to do something different. So bigger companies will give you that as well. So that's my recommendation. To give you more, how should I put it, more marketability for your resume, the bigger company. To give you opportunities to move up the ladder, right? The bigger company. The smaller company, yes, they're going to pay you well. You might need to, also learn a couple more things, which is not bad, right? You should always want to learn in this field. You should always want to continue learning. But to keep my answer simple to you, I hope I hope it makes sense. Again, my own opinion, whichever one you take, guess what? You have a job, right? And I'm sure a lot of people here would just want one offer. Right? So congratulations again, Spence. Are you in the US?
Yeah, I'm in the US.
Okay, good. All right. Congrats again. That's my opinion. Think about it again, but don't just go with it. Think about it again. But I hope that helps you with
Actually,
thinking
I
about it.
lean more towards the big companies.
Okay.
They came last, of course, because the small company came first.
Uh-huh.
But I think I like the big company. I've interviewed 5 members of people working there, telling me there are opportunities to work on many projects.
Uh-huh.
They are kind of laid back. They give me the opportunity to learn.
Uh-huh.
But this smaller company, I know I will learn. But the thing is, they be patient for me enough to learn.
Exactly.
Some things,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Good, 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 good. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, everyone. I really have to end this call now. I hope to see you all. You've set your alarms to join me every Sunday. Tell your colleagues at work. Post on LinkedIn. Please put a post on LinkedIn about these sessions. Again, it's hard for me to respond to all of the questions on LinkedIn. Here's how you can catch me live and bring your questions on stage, so others can benefit as well. If I'm going to cancel, I'm going to put it on the Telegram channel. I may post on about LinkedIn, but the Telegram channel will be the source of truth. Thank you, thank you, thank you all. I hope to see you all next Sunday if I don't cancel. Hopefully not. I'll see you all next Sunday. Take care. Before you end, make sure you copy the link to that article. Again, it has the link to everything. Thank you all. See you all next Sunday from 2 to 2:45 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Thanks. Take care and have a great rest of your week. Thank you.